Hi everyone! Today we're going to take this evergreen wreath frame and these leaves, this wonderful bush of leaves, this garland, and these beautiful roses and make a wreath. Well, I'm Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to start with our evergreen wreath base, and it's a little, it's about, maybe 14 inches by the time I fluff it out. And this one was so thick, all I had to do was kind of brush the stems backwards because they got mashed down. But once I brushed them kind of backwards, it just shaped right up. I just loved it. Didn't have to do a lot of work. Okay, so we start with fluffing it, and yes, of course, you're going to lose some of these little needles, but you can just clean that up and give it a good shake so they don't be falling out on your door. So they won't be falling out on your door. All right, let's move on to the next step. So the next thing I did was to cut my leaves into individual stems and then begin placing them around the wreath. I want this to go completely around and fill in the wreath so that you don't even see this greenery in the background. What this greenery will do is give us a nice base, and it'll give us fullness to work these leaves into. So I am curving the end of each branch so that when it goes in, it will be already at a nice little angle. And then I'm trying to make sure to overlap a little bit the top and bottom of each branch so that I get that one continuous feel of leaves. So once I got them all in the front and center, now I'm going to go a couple of them on the inner ring, fill in some of that gaps in that area. And then once I finish that, I got that like I wanted, I'm going to go around to the outer ring and start filling those in. I started with my longer ones front and center, and as they got shorter, these are the ones I'm using on the outer and inner rings. I'm trying a different format today. This is moving a little faster because I'm just doing some of the same steps over and over again. If it's moving too fast for you and you want to kind of follow it, I don't know if you realize there's a button here at the bottom that shows the gear shifts, and then if you click that, that button is settings. If you click that, you'll get a menu, and in that menu you can adjust the speed of how fast your video plays. So if someone's talking too slow, you can speed it up. If someone's talking too fast, you can slow it down. Just play around with those buttons. Okay. So I've got all of my greenery in my wreath. I'm kind of loving this. It's nice and full, just like I want it. So the next thing I'm doing is taking my garland. I always start at the base end, so that if I want to use the rest of the garland as one piece of garland, the nice tip is still at the other end. So I just take a box cutter and kind of cut down on the greenery tape where they taped it to this one long stem. And then I just pull a piece off. And so I decided 3 pieces would do fine. And then I took the wire that was at the edge of the flowers and just wrapped it around itself so that it would be connected again. And then I've got my little needle nose pliers to just fold down that ending wire so it doesn't stick out and cut you. Alright, with these 3 pieces, I'm kind of going to make a triangle around my wreath so that I space them out evenly. And again, see how that end is curved? So when it goes into the wreath, it goes around instead of sticking it straight out or straight through the wreath and coming through on the other side. So I'm going to, again, try to overlap them a little bit and do 3 of them. And I was thinking originally I didn't need 4 because I wanted to put a bow at the bottom. But this thing was so full in the end, I decided not to even use a bow. So you'll see that later on. Alright, so let me get this 3rd piece in here. And then we'll be ready for the next step. Again, make sure that your wire is wrapped around so that you get it nice and tight. And all of those branches stay together when you're trying to stick it in there. And watch your fingers with the hot glue gun. Don't forget that part. Alright, so I kind of got those on there, making sure they're staying nice and fluffy. They're not flat. I didn't mash them down. And then I ended up with these two odd pieces. They got separated from the bunches, so I'm just going to stick those in here at the bottom. Again, this is where I had planned to put a bow, but didn't need it in the end. Okay, that's done. Next thing I want to do is start to add my roses. I thought these were the prettiest roses, so I had to give them a nice little cut, separating them from the stalk that they're on. And I'm going to start with doing it again in threes. So I'm going to place them kind of where I want them, and remember in the end they're going to be facing up though, kind of looking up at you, so that when they're on the door, see how I'm bending that so it's facing forward. So yeah, trying to decide a nice 3 triangle here where I want to position it, and then I'll finish gluing them in. Again, this part, the stems aren't too long, so I didn't do a lot of curving of the stems. If they had been longer, yep, I would have curved those too, but they can pretty much go straight in without causing any problems. Sometimes when you stick you know, wire or these stems, they poke right out the back. So in the end, you got to go to the back and make sure nothing's sticking through that can scratch your door. So in between each of the triangle now, I'm thinking about how I can place another flower. Couldn't quite get it like I wanted it, but I was like, okay, let's do my best here. Let's start where I know I want to. And then I added some glue and got those in there. Again, if you enjoy this format of video, please let me know, because sometimes when steps are repetitive, you don't need an hour video. You kind of just need to see how people place things. Alright, so now I'm still playing around with where I want them, and then once I decide, yep, I like it right there, I add my glue and place them and put them in place. I did front and center, I did toward the inner ring of the wreath, and I also did on the outer ring of the wreath, just to make sure you know, they were spread out kind of evenly and spaced out very nicely. In the end, I used 12 roses. So let me finish adding those in. Again, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you're not a family member, consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. So when I stood this up here, I thought I was finished. I'm like, yeah, that'll work. And then I was like, nope. You know how we fiddle with things. I was like, nope, need a few more. So again, I glued the ends, kind of put them into the wreath, and then bent the head of the rose forward so it would be facing out to you as you're looking at the wreath. So again, please let me know what you think about this format of doing a video. I have a few more roses I'm going to add in, and I'm going to let you know this wreath was made totally from start to finish, even pulling out my things in under an hour. I think my recording was about 47 minutes, but even gathering my supplies, this wreath was done in under an hour. So it's a nice, pretty quick, something you can do to beautify your front door, or you can get it from me. I will be listing this on Etsy. It may not be, I'm going to try to get this video set to go live at noon today, but if the wreath isn't in Etsy, it will be there, you know, within a couple hours. I just got to get it loaded. I'm going to sit here and do both of them right now. Okay, so I'm almost finished here. I am going to share some pictures of the wreath, and of course I like to share pictures of them on a front door to give you an idea how it would look. And I just want to thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.